I'm recording.
What is it?
I'm recording to see if the sound is recording.
Oh. Is this a test?
Yes.
Testing.
But you have to look here, not here.
Oh.
Just go and sit down.
Here we are, San Diego Comic-Con 2008, on our way to PJ's panel. Say hello. You run into people. Yeah, I know. Hard to film on the run. Say hi. Hello. Here we are, all waiting to see PJ. Say hi, Danon. Hi, Beth.
Hi, KK. Uh-oh. I have a feeling there's something going on over my head.
We're
gonna regret that shot.
That's all right. Right up my nose.
Right up your nose.
Do you have to get some clothes?
This is PJ's panel. That's PJ's head.
Oh, they're all fascinating. Yeah, oh yeah. I guess you were here for his panel last week.
Listen, I was so upset that I had to miss it. But I had class. I had travel.
Oh, there's Molly. Hey, CW.
Yeah. The comic has to be a tax break somehow.
You know you gotta be on them. It's gonna happen at some point.
What?
Wonder what they're talking about. How much they love kids need to read.
I said there's a possibility that it could change. And I only saw one. I can go tell
a few
them.
that, oh no, I mean, possibility is possibility.
Who knows what Mally's doing? Isn't this exciting?
The funds for big auctions for the Firefly?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We did a raffle for you guys last Comic-Con, didn't we? Not. Which charity was that?
Kids need to read.
Charity.
Yeah, they do a different. The group that's doing this for us do a different.
Starting with James Owen.
Hey!
James Owen wrote and illustrated Here There Be Dragons, the first book in the Chronicles of the Imaginarium Jim Bracken. He is founder and executive director of Cocktail International, an art and design studio that also publishes the periodicals International Studio and Artist Quarterly, develops television and film products, and is redesigning an entire town, among other ventures. James has written and illustrated 24 Star Child comics, the Myth World series of novels, published in Germany and France, so any of our international Comic-Con visitors to Comic-Con International, maybe you have copies, and more. He lives in Arizona, and he also is an independent bookseller. Yay! Yay! PJ sent me my shortest bio. PJ Carsnod is the author of the Slothfire series and creator of the Rings of Orvis online game, but he brought a banner, so that makes up for it. Now we have Frank Feather. Writer, producer, actor Frank Vedder's second novel in the New York Times bestselling Looking Glass trilogy, Sea Red, has just recently been published. His film producing credits include the hit comedy There's Something About Mary, and the Looking Glass story has made its mark in comics too, with Hatter and Vedder's reimagining of the Alice in Wonderland story continues this fall with a lavishly illustrated scrapbook, Princess Alice.
Started one morning and I didn't stop. Just like getting out of bed from my old job and said, well, I want a new job. And I started that way. And then when I got into the whole business and then with the kids and getting them to read stuff like that, I was really excited about marketing because I've been in marketing for 20 years and I wanted to, we're going to do this for kids and this, because I feel kids get a big disservice when it comes to books. They know what movies they want to see, they know what television shows they want to just watch, what video games they want to play. But when it comes to a book, they're expected to walk into a bookstore with 100,000 titles spined out and find a book that suits them. Because there's no real marketing for books to kids, and it's all relies on the teachers and the educators, and they got enough to do, let alone be the critics for the books for the kids. So I flew to Boston. I went and met with my publisher, and they took me to this big boardroom, and I sat with all these people. And there's a woman at the end of the aisle, and she's got my book. And I don't know if you know the first cover. The first cover has Stephen Martinier's Aliens on it. She's got the book, and she's like, "This is so good. Girls are going to love this." And I said, "Okay, yeah, but there's an alien on the cover. Boys are going to love this." And there are other girls. And I go, "What? What do you mean?" And then a person at the other end goes, "Yeah, well, boys don't read anymore." So even the publisher had just sort of cut off half of the kids when it came to making books for them. So my whole philosophy, and I tried everything to break the paradigm, and it's so entrenched that I gave up. And I just go out on myself, and I go to the schools, and I just show kids that, you know what? It's fun to read. Just pick the book up to read it. Not for a test or a book reporter because it's good for you like your broccoli. Just pick the book up and get lost. And that's the whole thing I try to do. And it's been successful. I've kept the software going simply by going around to that message, even if I have to do it one kid at a time. And we'll see what happens.
Well, my experience with starting with my story, one of the questions is, you write for kids, and I wrote my book for myself. I didn't realize that there were adult YA children publishers. So when my agent brought me in to meet some publishers, they asked me, "Is this an adult book or a kid's book?" And I just shrugged my shoulders and I said, I don't know. I mean, what's the difference? And so it started with a children's publisher in the UK who wanted to buy it, and so suddenly I'd written a book for a children's publisher in the UK who wanted to buy it. So when I think about the stories, what I think about is a visual way to tell the stories, because it is the 21st century and it's such a visual world, and we're competing with games and movies and all these other mediums. As a matter of fact, I worked with some artists, some concept artists from Hollywood to conceptualize some of the ideas in the book to help me describe them. So, for instance, Doug Chang, who worked on Star Wars, he did a drawing for me. I put it on my wall, and when I went to write the scene, I looked over my shoulder and I said, "Oh, that's how it works." And so I told the publishers, let's use this artwork. And in the UK, they're quite, they're traditionalists, and they said, "Frank, we'd rather not use the artwork because for us, it's important that the stories live in the children's imagination." And I said to them, well, it's not going to live in their imagination if they're not motivated to pick up the book. So let's use the visuals. And they weren't convinced until the paperback, and they used some of the artwork, and it sold out pre-publication. And it was the combination of sort of a 21st century approach using the artwork. Not only did I use the artwork in the book, but I used the artwork for certain online outlets. So, AOL Red. I made a deal with them. I gave them exclusive artwork and exclusive content for them, which was motivated them to promote the book because their audience was getting something they could only get at AOL Red. And it gave me an opportunity to get better placement and more coverage. So the visuals are really important, not only to bring the audience and the kids in because that's their language, in addition to obviously writing a great book, but in terms of combining the two, a visual. In my case, I think I have a visual writing style because my background's in movies and things like that. And kids have talked about that, but then I also wanted to bring the text alive with concepts, and so that's been my approach, to do both, try and be old school, new school.
Thank you.